Recap Drop 121, November 6, 2017. They call it the noise. The mainstream media, the pundits, the talking heads, they're all part of a synchronized narrative machine. They want you to think everything is random. A coincidence here, a policy failure there. But chaos is never an accident. It is a calculated tool of distraction. They rely on the fact that the public cannot hold a complex timeline in their minds for more than one news cycle. But when you zoom in, the noise becomes a signal. Look at the syntax of these drops. It's not just a post, it's a blueprint for a counteroffensive. Why tie Obama to MS-13 and voting blocks in a single cryptic line? Because they're exposing the architecture of the Cloward-Piven strategy in real time. They're showing us how the previous administration weaponized immigration, not just for demographics, but to create a permanent dependent voting class that ensures the apparatus remains insulated from the will of the people. You think the 2017 Saudi purge was just a power play by a prince? That's the surface narrative. Look deeper. It was the first major asset seizure in a global financial war. They were locking down the private jets, the shell companies, and the dark money accounts that functioned as the treasury for the shadow establishment. But they were also consolidating media control. Look at their reach, investing billions into social platforms like Twitter, and dominating regional media giants like the NBC Group. They don't just censor the truth, they own the channels through which you hear it. By funding the infrastructure of digital discourse, they ensure they aren't just participants in the narrative, they are the gatekeepers. Follow the logic. If you want to destabilize a sovereign nation from within, you don't need an invading army. You use the strategy of tension. You create the crisis via porous borders and gang violence, so the populace becomes desperate enough to trade their fundamental rights for a promise of order. It's an internal siege, executed by agents who claim to be public servants while they actively dismantle the state's security. Look at the grouping. It's not three separate issues. It's a closed-loop system of control. The destabilizer group initiates the threat, the voting blocks institutionalize the fix, and the atmosphere of manufactured terror creates the public consent needed to pass restrictive legislation. It's a self-sustaining cycle, an architecture of entrapment where every policy is a cog in a machine designed to strip away autonomy, one mandate at a time. Everything you see on the news today, it's just the echo of this one operation. They aren't predicting the future, kid. They're writing it. The storm isn't just one moment. It's the systematic dismantling of the entire apparatus. If we don't start reading between the lines now, we're not just watching the show. We're the ones being scripted. God save us. It's time to read between the lines.